Interior trim. So you can see I've put just a piece of plywood on there, and we've decided that we're going to wainscot that whole wall, so that's just to level everything out, hold everything in place. Now I need sill extensions first, and I've got 4 inches there, 4 1/16. So I'm going to have to buy some 1x6, but the sill itself I've got the wood for. It's just the rest of the jamb extensions we'll have to do, get new wood for, and the top, because it's thicker than my wood, I'll have to shim that down a little bit. The plan for the trim is just very plain trim. We'll have this sill come out an extra couple inches, and then just 2 boards up and 1 across the top, similar to what we had before, and I think I can reuse the old trim for that. So we have got to do the sill first, which I got the wood for, and I want it to stick out. I've got about 30 3/8 inches there, and it's got to go underneath the 1x4 trim casing that will go around there, which is 3.5 inches, so it's got to be 7 inches longer than that and a little bit more. As you can tell, our decor is kind of country, cottage, farmhouse, rustic, what have you, rustic. That's my wife from the back yelling at me. So yeah, we're gonna kind of carry on with the theme. And I only have 2 6-foot pieces of iron board. That's not enough. I'll have to get another one. Maybe it'll be enough to get everything done. So it's off to the store we go. Now, upon further contemplation, that's 12 inches wide. That sill doesn't have to be a full 6 inches. I mean, even if it's 5, it don't really matter. So I can get 2 sills out of each board. So I just may have enough. Yeah, there's 39 inches. Boards there, I think it'll be good. That gives me, I can get my 4 sills out of that, and I think I can get several 4-inch, at least 1, 2 out of each of those for the top, so I can get the 4 top jamb extensions out of those, which are thicker, which is nice because that's where my bigger space is. We can do this. Job 1, we'll rip them down to rough width now that there's a rough length. Yeah, that worked out. I cleaned up about 5 3/4 inches, and the top ones at about 4 1/4, which is still over width. They'll have to be custom fit, every one of them. But seeing as they were pretty flat before, now in their smaller form, they're really flat, and I can put them right through the planer. Oh, there we are, all milled up. Some of them have a little bit more character than others. And if you really must know, about 15/16 thick. Yeah, maybe closer to an inch. So they must have been 5/4 boards. So that's 4 sills, 4 jamb extensions for the top. The side extensions I don't need as thick. And as always, after doing that much milling, and I took about the same amount off each side, I'm going to let them sit. So this is a piece for the sill extension. And what did I say I needed? 30 1/4 plus 4 on each side is 38 1/4. Now I'm at about 39. So first, and get my pencil here, 4 inches in. Just get that lined up nicely. And bring it over here. And there's our mark. And then for our depth, we'll check here. And that one's a little bit different. So we'll get that depth. That depth. There's probably about 1,000 ways to cut this thing, but this cut on the inside of the window will have a jamb extension going over top of it, so that cut is not very critical. It's the rip cut that we want to fit to the wall nicely. And even then, when, where's that piece of wood, I put the trim on, that's going to get covered too. So I'm just going to cut it with a handsaw. And besides, it's pine, and the handsaw is nice and quiet. a little tight right at the end where my waterproofing is. Oh, I've taken just a little bit more than a saw blade off of there width. For some reason I got a heck of a gap here and here. So I'm going to have to make this one a little bit narrower. Yeah. It's obvious my walls are a lot wonkier than what I thought. I got a reversing grain on here. I gotta take more off this side. Well, with a whole bunch of farting around, I've got a fit that I'm happy with. And I might radius these corners off a little bit. Not sure yet. So, in the harsh light, that's not helping the filming too much. That's the sill. The top jam extension is in, and I can just get aligned for where to rip it to length. And that's the top extension. That works. Now we got to get the side pieces. I got my side pieces cut to length, and I had to buy new lumber for that because I didn't have enough, and this is just 1x6 common pine S4S, and I got that fitting in there pretty nice. So now I can rip the width, and I'm going to just rip it the same width as this. Naturally, before I cut them, I want a nice straight face to go on the fence and the table saw, which I don't have yet. Alright, we got a continuous shaving now. So it should be nice and flat. And we'll give that edge we just cut, whoops, a couple of swipes also. Okay, bad lighting, but those look like some jamming extensions. And they fit in there quite nicely. It's kind of hard to hold everything in place here. But that's the old trim. And it's cut down except for the top one, which I'm going to have to wait until the very end. This is the left side and up. That's the right side and up. That's the top. And we'll do the same with this. Left side with an arrow up. I did say I wasn't going to sand those right. Well, I did. But I saved you a few hours of sanding videos. So we'll see how we do with a little bit of finish on them. And of course my favorite, boiled linseed oil. Always brings out the beauty. And it'll be covered with polyurethane when I'm done. Oh, there's a coat of boiled linseed oil on everything. Now those three pieces were the old ones. You can see how these two took it much better. But they will eventually darken to the same tone. And then the two side pieces for my jam extensions and my sill and my top. But look at this on the sill. Isn't that gorgeous? And that is why I like wood. There we go. It's a feature. So we'll let that dry overnight and start putting polyurethane on it tomorrow. So what I did was my normal routine. First coat brushed on, sanded with 320, second coat put on, hit it with a Scotch-Brite pad, and then I put two more coats on, and what I did is I thinned with and made it a wipe-on. One thing I've got here is this one. It's got a bit of a twist in it, but it's on the side that is not visible. The other thing I noticed was when I fit these together, which ones? When I fit these together, this is the top and the two sides, and they go like that at the top here, is that there was a 1/4 inch difference in it. So I'm going to have to make some adjustments. I got these both the same length now. My sill was level. My sides were straight, so that means the original top header is not level. And I can't really wedge it, so what I'm going to do is pre-attach it so all my fasteners are hidden. So I've taken my right side and my top, and I've got them clamped together the way they are going to go together in the window. And I've got two of these inexpensive 90-degree clamps in here. So you can see the sill I put in is nice and level, but the original header over the window doesn't quite make it, which is what caused the problem. I've got to start with the sill. I'm going to be using a variety of fasteners here. So for the sill itself, the fasteners will be hidden under the side plate, the side jamb extension. So I'm going to use some 2-inch finishing nails. So then the extension that we've screwed together for the top and the right side. And you see, I could have actually shimmed it right here, but if I blow nails up here and then put this one in, how do I know the spacing? This way, it all stays nice. And I'm going to blow in some 18 gauge brad nails for this. And yeah, they leave a little mark. And we can put in our left side extension. I've got my little square up set up for a 1/8 reveal. And my top piece of trim, I left a little bit long, and this is how far it's out for the warp in the wood. So we'll just trim that off right there. So we're trimmed to length, and a dab of polyurethane. So this is my warped board, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. I'll straighten it out a bit. I don't know if I can film it and get it in at the same time. Push it flush and try to toe nail it into the top board. There we go. Well, that bad corner actually faces into a corner, so you don't really see it. If you walk into the room, you see it from this way. And I suppose before we get curtains on it or anything, can I move back far enough? There it is. And I'm pretty pleased with that. Nice wider sill. So yes, there's plywood still where the old window was, but our plan is to wainscot this wall. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it so the trim on top of the wainscot comes level with this, so it makes a continuous line all the way across with wood down below and just the paint up top. That will be the winter project, I believe. So that's it. It's not exactly a perfect reveal on the top. And like I said, once you get curtains on it and everything, it's got a nice sill for wood plants, which is what the prerequisite was. Not too bad for my first time at doing it. I think it turned out alright.